Hello everyone. I was originally going to make a full video going scene by scene as I usually do, but the plot is such incomplete nonsense that the cast and director say it will all make sense in the director's cut and the prequel comics coming out soon. Yes, they actually want you to pay for the more complete, grittier, adult fantasy sci-fi you were promised as DLC. Again, I'm sure when that eventually comes out, it will be an absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece, certified fresh with its own CW live action series spin-off on the way. So instead, I'll try to analyze what's actually in the movie, the shit sci-fi setting, because believe it or not, Zack Snyder somehow made the most broad and imaginative genre of science fiction into bland nonsensical garbage. The points I'll bring out will be in no specific order. Also, don't worry, no knowledge of the film will be required as there is no film, only common sense. Okay? Let's get this over with. Exhibit A. Laser guns.
Pew pew guns! Oh, I love pew pew guns!
A commonplace weapon in most science fiction settings, it's generally accepted that a laser gun is an extremely powerful variant of a normal gun that can shoot through anyone and anything. There are exceptions to this rule, obviously. However, any material immune to laser fire has to be explicitly stated or shown in the verse. If you don't have Beskar or the Force, a laser will kill you in Star Wars, for the most part. What if I told you that Snyder's Rebel Moon's laser gun makes no sense? It can go through concrete unless the main character is standing behind it. It can go through heads, penetrating multiple layers of flesh and the strongest bone structure known to man, with enough power left over to go through the concrete behind it, but can't go through wood. So in the Rebel Moon universe, whenever in a laser shootout, just flip over a table and you'll be completely fine.
Sure, whatever you say.
Speaking of shootouts, any scene involving the main character and multiple people with lasers genuinely makes me want to cry. This is the first heavy fire scene we see in the movie. And look at this. Lasers are passing in front and behind her, but none in the middle where they might actually kill her. And you might think, oh, it's probably an editing error and it only happens once.
No.
This happens again towards the finale. It's almost like Zack wants to slap me in the face with how shitty his direction is. I mean, look at this scene. This guy with the gun and a hostage just points it at the main character and watches as she takes out all his men before deciding now he wants to do something about it. This plot armor isn't even thick, it's nigh infinite. But I'm sure it will all be explained in the director's cut. Exhibit B. The Lightsaber. It's generally accepted that a lightsaber is basically a laser sword that can cut through anything. However, unlike the laser gun, introducing a weapon that can cut through anything like butter into a scene usually means that some cool shit is about to go down. In fact, if a movie has a variant of a lightsaber, I can predict how good it is without watching by how many limbs are cut off. Go ahead, prove me wrong in the comments. Show me a movie or show with the lightsabers and no limbs cut off that is good. Do it! You can't, can you? Because only an incredibly lazy and incompetent writer will introduce lightsabers into their movies only to have them function the same as basic swords. Wanna see how Zack Snyder does it? Okay, in Rebel Moon, the lightsaber can cut through metal and aliens like butter in seconds, but it takes almost an entire minute to cut through one guy. One! So, in the Rebel Moon universe, if someone is coming at you with a lightsaber, don't worry, it's basically a knife with LEDs. Also, just look at this shot. Jesus Christ, man. She just impaled herself on her own sword. I'm sure this will all be explained in the director's cut, right, Zack? Exhibit C. Space animals. This one is simple. If it has wings, it can fly. So, one of the side characters needs to tame this wild griffin-looking thing to pay for his freedom. It has to be held down by multiple people so as not to fly off. So the guy tells the people holding it to let it go. Now, no matter where you're watching from, I'm sure you're familiar with chicken or ducks. If you manage to catch a wild one, it's a general rule that you not let them go until you're in a confined space, because those little shits will take off. The griffin is also wild and 10 times larger and stronger, but the moment it's let go, for some bizarre reason, it forgets that it wanted to fly away, just because some dude was kneeling behind it and talking gibberish.
Fine, whatever.
What makes it even more insulting is when we realize that this slave owner lets one of his slaves onto an animal that can fly, efficiently providing him a means of escape. Oi, damn fuck. What would you have done if he kept flying away with it and never came back? Sure, he made a deal that ensured that he would, but he's your slave. Why the fuck would you trust him? They don't even have guns or vehicles, meaning if one night a slave runs off, they can't do anything about it. So, in the Rebel Moon universe, slave owners might as well be annoying babysitters. These chuckle fucks even sit back and watch as their comrade is pushed to the ground and mauled by the griffin. I'm sure their stupidity will be explained in the prequel comics. Right, Zack? Exhibit D. Alien technology. Okay, this one is specifically unique to this movie, but since Zack can't even copy Star Wars right, you can just imagine the nonsense he comes up with himself. These scorpion confinement things are introduced as a way bounty hunters used to catch their marks. completely confining them and providing a way to permanently paralyze them if they prove too difficult. At first, I thought they were kind of neat until they were used on the main character, and Zack had to bend basic logic to get her out. You see, the guns used to puncture the spine to paralyze the victims also acts as the keys to letting them out. Let me tell you why that's so dumb. You see, at the end of the movie, a betrayal happens, and a member of the group is asked to paralyze the main character and is given the gun to do so. Meaning, the bad guys handed this man, who's not only a friend of the main character, but it is also public knowledge that he's in love with her, a means to free her, and expected him not to do it. What? What is happening? You can even see how conflicted he is. I can feel my brain cells withering out trying to understand this cosmically stupid logic. Oh my god. Of course he wasn't going to break her spine when you gave him the keys to her freedom.
You moron!
You know, it's so sad that Zack Snyder didn't manage to release his intended version of the movie because he seems so passionate about it. The cast even talk about how Sophie, who plays the main character, sank so deep into the mythos that her trailer was filled with images and wallpapers detailing every specific moment of the lore. It makes me sad that I can't have the same experience because what actually made it into the movie sucks and full of so much slow-mo. Why? Why is this scene, Zack? He's just running. Nothing epic is happening, Zack. If you're using slow-mo for a fucking run, then there better be in the supposedly cut sex scenes. Or I swear to God, Zack. Anyway, I just had to rant about this movie. Bye.